Okay, so in today's training, I'm going to be talking about how to create a offer as a personal trainer. So those who don't know who I am, my name's Jordan Keogh, and I started out as a coach about 10 years ago, and I was able to take my prices from $50 an hour to $5,000 an hour on the front end by employing these exact tactics around how to build a transformational offer. And so, real quick, what is an offer? So, an offer in business is basically the specific product or service that we present to an audience to sell. So, for a personal trainer, that would be a 12-week transformation program, or it could be a 2-day rugby strength workshop, or it could be like a 3-day handstand retreat. So, as opposed to just saying, I'm a personal trainer, I have services, you can work with me, like, do you want to sign up for my services? We have more specific offerings. So a 12-week transformation program rather than I just have some personal training sessions that you want to join up. So we sort of package it all up and we put it together in a more sort of enticing way. And we sort of tie it to a result. So a transformation program, rugby strength training, handstand retreat, these are all sort of tied to things people are more interested in as opposed to just like my services. So to recap, an offer is basically the specific product or service that we present to our audience to sell to them. Why should we have an offer? Well, the reason why we want an offer is that we want to differentiate ourselves and we want to stand out. We want to be able to actually charge more money and get better results for our clients. So without an offer, we're just another personal trainer charging hourly rates. And what that means is people will compare us to the other trainers in the industry. So they'll base us on price, not value. So if I say, oh, I'm Jordan, I'm a brand new personal trainer, I just finished my certification, do you want to work with me? And then they just go to Google and type in personal trainer in Byron Bay. And there's another trainer with like 10 or 12 years experience with like 500 testimonials. They're going to choose the other guy over me. So I can differentiate myself, right? So having an offer means they'll value me, they'll assess me based on value, not necessarily price or experience. So if I say, hey, I'm Jordan, I can help you overcome back pain in 12 weeks or less. Would you like to sign up for my back pain transformation program? They might be like, oh, that's interesting. Anyone with back pain will be like, yeah, that's my guy. So it makes it harder to be compared against other people because we're not just a everyday trainer now. I'm the back pain guy, or I'm the aesthetic physique guy, or the big booty girl, like whatever it is you're selling that's desirable to the market. It means that you stand out. So without an offer, you're just getting compared to everyone else based on hourly rates and experience. But having the offer allows you to sort of differentiate yourself and be more specific and stand out. Here's what having a good offer does for you. It attracts the right clients. So as opposed to just putting some content or some ads or some posters out there saying, hey, I've just finished my certification and I want to work with people one-on-one, I can say, hey, my name's Jordan. I went from this to this, and I can show you exactly how to do it because I just got certified as a personal trainer and here's my lived experience. So it helps you stand out. So having the offer means you can become the go-to person for that specific problem. It attracts the right clients. So you want someone to work with you that wants the result you're selling. So let's say I'm doing the back pain example again. Anyone with back pain is going to be like the right client for me. Sorry, I just had some noise outside. Yeah, so basically what that means, it helps you attract the right clients. It means that you're speaking directly to people with back pain. So when they hear your message, they're going to be like, oh, this is the guy. And then I get on the phone and I'm like, oh, do you have issues with your back? They're like, yes, I do. I'm like, awesome. The offer helps create the clarity in the market for that. It makes you more valuable because solving back pain is much more valuable than just general fitness. Or, for a guy that wants to get an aesthetic physique so he can get confidence or find a girlfriend, that's also much more valuable than just like come to the gym and let's work out, bro. It's like, hey, let's get you ripped, let's get you looking aesthetic so you can build that confidence, so you can get that, get that attraction to get the girls, et cetera, if he's struggling with that in his life. It makes marketing easier. Having a clear offer means you can talk to a specific person, you can build content around that specific idea, and it's a lot easier to sort of build out content and talk to your market. And finally, it positions you as an expert. People trust in specialists more than they trust in generalists. So basically, when you go to a normal doctor for the cold or the flu, he gives you some medication, you go home, right? He's your general doctor. But if you go in with like a broken leg or you need surgery, he refers you to a specialist. Having an offer kind of makes you a specialist in the fitness space. So people see you as more of an expert, and it sort of allows you to become the go-to person in that space, the specialist for that one thing. So, with that said, this workshop that I'm about to go through now will show you exactly how to create an offer. So, if you don't know how to create one, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. I want to stand out in the market. I want to charge more money. I want to transform more lives. I want to have an easier job of building my personal training business. Then sweet, pay attention because what I'm about to share with you is exactly how you can take your actual lived experience and turn it into an offer. So with that said, the first thing we want to know is how should you deliver your offer? Well, if you're just starting out as a personal trainer and coach, you should start one-to-one coaching. That's been my lived experience with this and all the other people I've trained over the years, is that one-to-one coaching is the best place to start because it allows you to learn how to get your reps in. How do you explain your processes to people? How do you sort of get good at communicating? How do you sort of put it all out there and sort of make a few mistakes? You do it in a single setting. It's a lot easier than trying to figure it all out in front of 10 people or 20 people at a time. So one-to-one coaching is where you should start. It's also the easiest to deliver. You don't need a big system. You need like a Google account and a Zoom account or a telephone. And that's it. You're like, hey man, I've made you a Google Doc with your programming in it. I'll call you on the weekend or I'll text you on the weekend. It's super easy to start, super easy to deliver. So one-to-one is where you should start. Get the reps, learn how to coach, get your experience, make your mistakes, get it all sorted in a really easy format. Once you've done one-to-one, maybe you've done it for 6 months, you've done 20, 30, 40, 50 clients one-to-one, then you can move into group coaching where you start doing 5, 10, 15, 20 people at a time. And then once you've done that for a year or two and you really are the master of group coaching, then you can look at making like a fully automated online course. Now, those timelines are just estimates. You might start one-to-one coaching, do 5 people, move to group, do group for 6 months, move to an online course. If you're confident and you work hard and you get all the reps in, that's fine. I'm just giving generalized timelines for what I've seen with people. So start as a one-to-one coach, get your first 5 to 20, 30 clients as a one-to-one. Once you're confident explaining your stuff, you've built out some worksheets and some documents and you've made some streamline the process a little bit for one-to-one, move into group, do group coaching for a while until you've made your videos and you've got your program and you've got all this stuff outlined. It's working really well. You've customized it. You've figured out most of the roadblocks people have as a coach. And you've made systems and you've made resources like cheat sheets and handouts to solve all those problems. Once you've done that, then move into online courses where you can sort of step back a little bit and scale it and have more of an automated product. So start with one-to-one coaching is what I'm saying. So with that said, what do I sell? And so what you can sell is you can sell the transformation you have achieved. And this is what I recommend everyone start with. Start with something you've achieved. If you started skinny and put on muscle, become a muscles transformation guy. If you had back pain and you solve back pain, become a back pain specialist, PT. If you've had a skinny butt and now you've got a great booty, become a booty builder. If you've lost a bunch of weight and overcome some type of food problem, become a weight loss coach. It's just a really easy, simple place to start. And the reason why is that your results are the proof. You go, so if you don't have all these testimonials, you don't have all this social proof and you're a new coach, you can stand out simply by having a before and after story, a before and after picture, and you can just explain and express what it was like for you to be in that old position where you were stuck. And then you went on this journey of transformation, and now what it's like to have this awesome, great result. That's incredibly powerful marketing. And all you've done is literally just told your story. So you are the proof. It's really easy for you to understand your target audience because you used to be them. So you 2 years ago is probably exactly who's going to sign up for your coaching. So 2 years ago, I was like overweight. I had an eating disorder. I actually did have like a binge eating problem. Right now, I've lost all my weight. I don't have an eating disorder. I feel completely free with food. So if I wanted to start my personal training transformation program, I would probably start with me 2 years ago, which was like, hey, have you tried all the fad diets and tried all the traditional things and been to therapy for all this, but you're still overeating on food and you've put on all this weight? Well, if you'd like to shred down, still eat your favorite foods and finally be free with food, then you should work with me and join my 12-week weight loss and food freedom program. That's how that would sound because I've literally 2 years ago, I was stuck. I just described what it used to be like. I talked about what it would be like now. And I said, work with me in my 12-week program and we'll get you there, right? So that's why we should start with the transformation we have achieved because it's so easy to sell because we've literally got all the marketing sitting there by talking about our past, our journey, and our present day situation. It's easy to understand our target audience because all we have to do is go back and go, what did I think 2 years ago? I felt stuck. I thought it was too hard. I felt like there was never going to be a perfect diet. I just literally talk about that stuff in my social media content or on the phone with people, and they're like, that's exactly how I feel. You're like, yeah, sweet. So that's why it's so easy to understand our target audience because we've literally been there. We just think back to what it was like. What did they want? What were they going through? And we just start expressing that stuff. And it's also great, like I said, because story selling comes naturally. You don't have to become a world-class marketer and a fancy guru to basically be like, hey, I used to be here and it sucked. I went on this journey. It's very simple. It's like a 5, 7 step journey. I can explain it really easily. And now my life's fucking awesome. I got the exact result I want. So story selling basically becomes a natural process when you do this. All right, cool. So that's what we can sell. We can sell some type of program around a transformation we have already achieved. And if you haven't achieved any transformation, think a little bit harder about your fitness journey. Have I lost weight? Have I gained muscle? Did I put on strength? Did I rehab an injury? Did I overcome my food problem? There has to be something in there that you've achieved. And if not, then get to work. Like figure out what it is you want to set a goal, figure out how to transform it, do it, and then go and start selling that. All right, cool. Next thing is, who do I sell it to? So now we know that we need an offer, a specific program to sell to an audience. We're going to sell some type of result-based program that we've already achieved, the transformation we went through. Who are we going to sell it to? Well, we need to sell it to someone first and foremost who can afford it. So when we're looking at who we can sell it to someone that's in like a business space or a professional space or a money space. For example, if I wanted to try and sell business coaching to broke personal trainers, I'm going to have a hard time selling that. Why? Because I can't afford my services. So it's like if I'm going to sell a $5,000 coaching program for 12 weeks to help a beginner personal trainer build their first program and get their first five free customers, I'm going to have a really hard time selling that for $5,000. Might be able to sell it for a few $100, but I'm not going to sell it for $5,000. So make sure if you're pricing at the higher end, people can truly afford it. So target professionals, business owners, like housewives with rich husbands, like divorcees, people that have been through divorce. Most of them normally have money. So that's just something to think about as you build your business. At the start, when you're getting started, it doesn't matter so much. Just focus on helping anyone because you're going to start for cheap or free. But in the long term, who you can sell it to is people that have money. The second thing is someone like you. So just think back, like, who's my perfect customer? My perfect customer is, like I said, someone like who you were 1 or 2 years ago. If I go back and say, who was like me? I was like people that were extremely motivated to fix their health, people that had tried all the traditional stuff and it wasn't working very well, and people that were like not willing to like do this crazy, restrictive, freaky diet. And I was like, all right, that's my people. So now I'm like, which of those people are mine? So it's like I help professionals or busy professionals because they got money lose weight and find food freedom without crazy food rules or restrictive diets. All of a sudden, I'm starting to be like, cool. Now I'm getting a message. I can sell it to busy professionals who, like me a few years ago, are fed up with all the bullshit that want a simple food solution that'll help them lose weight without crazy food rules or restrictive fad diets. So that's, excuse me, that's who do you sell it to? The other thing is, who can I best help? So if you're struggling to figure out who's someone like me that could buy my stuff, like, is it a 20-year-old businesswoman? Um, go back and ask yourself, who can I best help? Sorry, I just got distracted again. Just making sure we're covering all the bases here. So yeah, ask who can I best help? So like I can best help busy professionals with eating disorders. Now, I could help anyone lose weight, right? I could help Joe Blow down the street lose weight because I pretty much know how to do calories and macros and recipes and make healthy food delicious and sustainable. But I can best help busy professionals who are stuck with an eating disorder. So that's why I choose them as well. Not only they like who I was, but I can best help them because the traditional methods aren't helping them. They're going to therapy, they're going to see nutritionists and dietitians, and they're putting them on all these crazy diets that don't work. Where I can best help them and be like, you're busy, you want a simple solution, I can show you a simple solution. So think back to who you can best help. Can you best help an athlete? Can you best help a young guy with low confidence? Can you best help that girl who doesn't know how to put on size because she's naturally skinny? Or can you help that girl that struggles to lose weight because she's naturally bigger? Let's just figure out who you can best help based on sort of some type of characteristic like that, because that'll help you get really clear on who you sell it to. So just to recap, who do you sell it to? Someone who can afford it, which isn't a big problem now because we're starting for free or cheap. But as you get further on in your business, you want to make sure they got money. To someone like you, who was like you a couple of years ago, 12 months, 2 years ago, who's like you, or who can you best help? Who has a body type or an obstacle that's not being addressed correctly or is often addressed in a poor way in the market, you can be like, I can help you. Are you skinny, struggling to get big? Are you big, struggling to get slim? Like, figure out which of those people you can best help and start marketing around that. All right, beautiful. So that's who you can sell it to. So let's recap. We have an offer, which is what you sell to the market. We have what you're going to sell, which is a transformation based on your own personal experience and results, something you've achieved. We're going to sell it to someone who is similar to who you were a couple of years ago and that you can best help, someone that's struggling in the market that needs a solution, and also in the future, make sure they've got money. Now, why do people buy? What do people actually buy? That's the next thing you have to figure out. Because most people think, oh, people buy products and services and programs. They don't buy products, services, and programs. What they buy is results. They buy the result that they think that product or program is going to give them. People don't buy an airline ticket because they like flying in the sky for 12 hours. They buy an airline ticket because they like landing in Hawaii, like landing in Vanuatu, right? So if we're selling people plane flights, we're not going to sell very many. But if we're selling people trips to Hawaii via plane, we're going to sell lots of them. So it makes sense. So it's like, it's a little mental shift, but we're not selling programs and services. That's the vehicle that we're going to get them to where they're going. We're selling the result. We're selling the aesthetic physique. We're selling the strong low back. We're selling the big booty. We're selling the food freedom, or we're selling the slim body with the beautiful diet. You know what I mean? We're not selling plane rides. We're selling Hawaii. We're not selling programs and services. We're selling weight loss or muscle gain or some type of result. So that's what people buy. It's really important to understand that, because if you start going on like, I've got a one-to-one service, and then I've got a premium one-to-one service, and I've got like a group service, people don't really give a crap. They want to know, what does the one-to-one service give me? What does the group program give me that I actually want? And like I said, it's the result, it's the weight loss, it's the muscles, it's the confidence, so it's all those things. So that's really important to understand. We're selling the result, not necessarily the process. Now, people need to know about the plane flight to get to Hawaii. So we have to describe, it's a jet. You've got to come to the airport. You've got to do this and that. You've got to go through baggage. You have to like give an overview of what a flight is. But we're really saying the flight is part of the way. It's it's the necessary process to get the result. But really, we want to go to Hawaii or Vanuatu or Tahiti or whatever. So most people are stuck at point A, and they want to get to point B. So they're stuck at Australia and they want to fly to Hawaii. So point A is stuck in Australia, point B is wanting to be in Hawaii. In a fitness example, point A is stuck being overweight, feeling like there's no way to get out of it. Point B is enjoying my food and effortlessly losing weight. Point A might be, I'm skinny and I've been training for 2 years, but I still haven't put any muscle. Point B is, I work out 3 times a week and I'm fucking jacked. Point A might be, I've been dieting for 2 years as a bigger girl and I can't lose weight. Point B is, I've lost all my weight and I love the way my body feels and I love my lifestyle, right? Making sense? So we just have to get them from point A to point B. And that's really when people will be like, this person really delivered a great result. You say, hey, work with me for 12 weeks and I'll help you lose 10 kilos of body fat. And then at the end of 12 weeks, if you go, what did you weigh at the start? And they say 90 kilos. What do you weigh now? And they say 79 kilos. You say, did you lose more than 10 kilos? And they go, yes. Are you happy with the result? They're like, I'm fucking stoked with the result. So that's just sort of something to understand. People are buying the result and they're buying a point A to point B journey. And your job in the program is to say, hey, I promise you to get you from point A, this amount of weight, down to this amount of weight. Or point A might be stuck in back pain and can't enjoy life, can't exercise, can't maintain their job. Point B might be 12 weeks after working with me, my back doesn't hurt anymore. I feel free. So point A was back hurts. Point B is no back pain. So if they start with me and they got back pain all day, 7 days a week, and they can't work, and they finish the 12-week program and I ask them, how's your back pain? They go, I get like a 2 out of 10 twice a week and I'm back at work. It's unbelievable. That person is going to be stoked. They're going to leave a testimonial. They're probably going to refer their friends. They're going to be really, really happy with the service. So that's something to understand as well. People buy results. Our programs should be focused on getting people results. Specific results, we're going to take them from the journey through the destination to the outcome. So that's what we really are doing. So let's talk about, how do you build your results-based program? Because if we need a results-based program, which we do, we need a specific solution for a specific person We need to do it in 8 weeks or 12 weeks or 16 weeks or 6 months. You could do 12 months. It's just about being able to figure out how long does it take me to get this person the result from point A to point B. And then we're going to build our program around that. So if you don't know where to start, because I know we just went through a lot of information there. If you don't know where to start, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it right now. So you build your program by starting to coach for free, to get experience, and to get feedback from people to develop your process and program. So if I wanted to do weight loss for busy professionals, I would find 5 or 10 people, 5 to start, and I would say, hey, I've just started personal training, or hey, in the last year, I've managed to lose 10 kilos of weight and keep it off in a sustainable way. And I'm doing my personal training course. And I would love to teach you exactly what I did for free in exchange for feedback. And if you get good results, you'd be willing to give me a testimonial. And if they say yes, that's my first customer. I want to reach out to as many people as I can and get 5 people on board, right? Reach out to as many people as it takes to get 5 free customers and say, I will work with you for 12 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever it is. And I will show you step by step how you can lose 10 kilos and enjoy your diet over the next 12 weeks. Sound good? So that's how you do it. You enroll them in the program and you say, every week we're going to meet once a week for 30 minutes and we're going to go over your results and we're going to customize your program. Initially, we're going to have a 60-minute onboarding call where we're going to set your calories and macros and we're going to build out your diet and we're going to give you the program. And then every 8 weeks, we're going to meet as a group and we're going to go over and I'm going to ask you specifically all for feedback so I can keep building and developing my program as it goes. Sound fair? And they're like, yep, sounds great. That's how we start and build our programs. Then we just deliver them online using things like Facebook groups or Instagram chats or phone or Zoom and Google Documents. It does not have to be complicated. You can use Google Docs or Google Forms. You can use things like Fat Secret or MyFitnessPal for tracking. You can write your programs up in Google Docs if you just want to start super basic, or you can get something like TrueCoach, some type of fitness app that you can use to deliver it. Trainerize, I think, is another good one. There's a few out there. And that's it. You just start coaching. So that's how you do it. You literally go, I'm going to help this person achieve this result in this time frame. And I'm going to go and reach out and get 5 of those people and offer it to them and enroll them in my program. I'm going to coach it for free for 12 weeks in exchange for feedback. I'm going to get results. I'm going to learn how to do it. I'm going to learn how to make mistakes. The good thing is it's free, so you're allowed to make mistakes. The goal isn't to be a perfect coach straight out of the gate. The goal is to literally start coaching, learn how to onboard clients, learn how to do custom programming, learn how to do check-ins on video, learn how to actually deliver the program and make mistakes and sort of iron out all the kinks and do it in a low pressure environment. So that's pretty much how to do it. All right, let's go through exactly how to get your first 5 customers. First thing we want to do is create a 12-week coaching program and offer it in exchange for free. It's way too much info, bro.